Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of The Rob Caudell Show. This is your host, Rob Caudell. Today I'm going to be talking about God's wrath against the unrighteousness, and our text today is Romans chapter 1, verses 18 through 23. It says, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived, ever since the creation of the world, in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God, or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things." In this passage, Paul obviously is talking about the wrath of God and how it's revealed against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. He is warning us of the consequences of rejecting God and his truth. In verse 18, Paul says that the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. This means God is not pleased with the way people are living their lives. At this time and even now, it's gotten worse in my opinion. He's angry at the way people are rejecting him and his truth. And the way that that's happening, if you look around in our world today, there has been, in my mind, never a bigger rebellion or opposition to God's created order and his word like there has ever been in history, in my mind. I'm sure it's been bad in the past, but I don't think it's ever been this widespread. And I think about the sin of homosexuality, abortion, the greed, the indifference to truth. When things are staring you in the face, the evidence is there, and people will still reject the truth. I think God is angry at that fact, at the sin of man and the blatant sinful disrespect mankind is committing. Verse 19, Paul says that God has made his truth known to us through the things that he has created. So he's showing us truth in creation. He's revealed himself to us through his creation. He has made it clear that he is the creator and that he is in control. Verse 20, Paul says that people are without excuse because they've seen the truth of God in his creation. I can't help but think of Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and his firmament shows his handiwork. So we, all of us, mankind, have seen the evidence of his power and his glory, yet people still reject him. In verse 21, Paul says that people have exchanged the truth of God for a lie. So the truth that God gave us, the undeniable truth that we have, people have exchanged that truth of God for a lie. They've chosen to believe in false gods and false teachings. We know God from the Bible created the heavens and the earth. But one of the things that's propagated in secular society, and it's shoved down our throats, is this theory of evolution. Where we came from a big bang. We evolved from nothing. We were single-cell organisms, and then over the course of trillions of years, we turned into the beings that we are today. That's exchanging the truth of God for a lie. They are rejecting God's truth, that he is the creator. In verse 23, Paul says that people have exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like mortal man and birds and animals and reptiles. They have chosen to worship false gods instead of the one true God. And that's true. People are bowing down to other gods, and they won't think of them as gods. In their mindset, they want an absence of God in their life, but what they really are doing is no different than what the pagans of old did. They've just set up a God that suits their own needs and their own desires, and that's where they're placing their worship. So when we look at this text, we've seen that God's wrath is revealed against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. We've seen that people are without excuse because they've seen the truth of God in his creation. We've also seen that people have exchanged the truth of God for a lie and have chosen to worship false gods instead of the true one. So let's take this warning to heart and choose to follow God and his truth. Let's not be like the unbelievers where God's wrath is revealed against them or revealed to them because of their unrighteousness. And may God help us to do that. May we continue to seek his truth and follow it and proclaim it. This is Rob Caudell with The Rob Caudell Show. Thank you for listening.